I've come to the decision that I need a husband so I can sit next to fires with. So I'm not literally sitting next to an empty freaking chair at 40 by the fire by myself at 10 at night on a Friday night. I'm going to start taking applications for this chair.
I am a 30-year-old single mom and I'm still looking for my soulmate. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I have been through hell and back with dating, and I'm so tired of using the dating apps. I'm so tired of doing the same thing and being let down and being disappointed. And so I thought long and hard about this, and I really, really want to hire a matchmaker. Also because I literally live in the worst city for dating statistics.
Now, let's get real for a second. She chose motherhood. She brought a child into this world, and now she's asking society to normalize regretting it. Imagine a father saying, "We need to normalize not wanting to be a dad." He'd be crucified within hours. What we're seeing is the rise of a mindset that treats responsibility like an inconvenience. The same women who scream "my body, my choice" suddenly want to skip the choices they made once reality hits. We need to normalize not wanting to be a mother. That's what she said. And somehow, people online clapped for it. Before we dive in, drop a comment. Are modern men more delusional, or is it the ladies? Hit like and subscribe so you don't miss what we expose next. Who scream "my body, my choice" suddenly want to skip the choices they made once reality hits. And that's the problem. Modern culture glorifies emotional honesty only when it excuses bad decisions. Motherhood is not an aesthetic. It's not a TikTok trend. It's the most demanding role a human can take on, and pretending otherwise doesn't make you brave. It just exposes how disconnected people have become from accountability. The truth is, we don't need to normalize not wanting to be mothers. We need to normalize thinking before you become one. Ouch! They're not even trying to hide it anymore. It's out there in plain sight. They want a house husband, not a partner, not a leader, not a man with vision or drive. They want a caretaker, a man who will cook, clean, work full-time, and still praise them for being independent. It's wild, because the same women who once said, "I don't need a man," are now openly searching for one, not out of love, but out of necessity. The bills are real, the loneliness is louder, and the fairy tale of doing it all alone is collapsing in real time. And instead of admitting that feminism oversold them a dream, they're trying to rebrand dependence as empowerment. I want a man who supports my lifestyle. Translation: they want a provider and a personal assistant rolled into one obedient boyfriend. But let's be honest, a man who gives up his masculine drive to play house for a woman chasing comfort isn't being loved, he's being used. And deep down, both of them know it. This isn't partnership anymore. It's survival disguised as romance.
All right, I'm gonna get straight to this. I want a partner. I want to find a husband. I want to find a partner. I am ready. I've prayed on it, and I've done all the work, all the self-growth. I have invested in myself to become the best woman, the best version, the best partner, the best future wife. And the problem now is, where are those men? Right? Can't find them on social media. I mean, some women do. I have not. Dating apps are terrible. I go to church, but I don't meet no one at church. I work from home, so I don't step out a lot. Where are they? Are they in the US? Are they in another country? What do we do? Us women that are ready. We're ready to commit. I've done the job. I'm just waiting up. And it sucks. And I know other
Men today are done. Not bitter, not broken. Just done with the toxicity and the games. They've learned that peace isn't found in chasing chaos dressed up as passion. It's found in solitude, in working on yourself, building your purpose, and keeping your sanity intact. For years, men were told they were the problem. Do better. Be emotionally available. Communicate more. But the moment they started setting boundaries, suddenly they're called emotionally unavailable. See the irony? So now, a lot of men would rather stay home alone than repeat the same cycle, being blamed for everything while getting nothing in return but stress. They're realizing that a quiet apartment and a focused mind beat drama and disrespect every single time. And here's the plot twist. The more men choose peace, the louder the outrage becomes. Because a man who walks away from manipulation can't be controlled.
Okay, so how come, like, when you're single and dating and talking to someone, why is Elton John Christmas music playing? Anyway, why do they always ask, what are you looking for? Also, I spilled iced coffee. Please don't mind that stain. I'm looking for a husband. I'm old. I'm 41. I'm obviously looking for a husband.
Serious relationship or just having fun? It's a fair question, especially when that's exactly what you spent your entire 20s doing. See, a lot of women are now reaching an age where they want stability, but forgot that they've built a reputation on instability. For nearly a decade, it was city girl summers, situationships, and endless self-discovery phases. And now, suddenly, it's where are all the good men? But here's the truth. Men remember patterns. They watch, they notice who values commitment and who treats it like a seasonal trend. So, of course, they're going to ask, because why should a man invest long-term in someone who only found clarity after the fun ran out? This isn't judgment, it's accountability. The dating market has memory. Choices in your 20s echo in your 30s. And men are finally bold enough to say out loud what they used to just think silently. If loyalty wasn't your priority back then, why should commitment be his now?
Hey everyone. We're going to start a new series. It's called The Day in the Life of a Single 47-year-old Woman in San Diego that's going to be on a mission to not be single. Yeah. So the ultimate goal for me, honestly, is I want to get married again. So we need to find a husband. I just don't know where to do that. So that's why you're here. So if you guys have any ideas where I should start, I don't know if it's the dating apps. I don't know if it's going out to certain places, locations. I don't know. Do I walk around Home Depot all day? Do I go to Lowe's? Where do I go? Where do I find my future husband? If you have any ideas, comments, suggestions, anything of that sort, can you just drop them in that drop box right there? Leave them in that comment. Don't DM me, please, about applications, because I don't have any ready. This is just me thinking about dating. This is just thinking. It's not happening yet. So it's just a thought. Just trying to figure out where to start. Where do we start? So if you have any ideas of where I should start, drop them in the comment box. All right. Thanks.
Wow, so this is where we are now. We're out here rambling on TikTok, hoping to find a soulmate. Not through character, not through connection, but through a comment section. A damn soulmate. And it's wild, because the moment a woman posts a teary-eyed video saying, I just want love, she gets thousands of supportive comments, all cheering her on for being vulnerable. But if a man dared to post the same thing, he'd be mocked, stitched, and canceled before the video hit 1,000 views. Men never get the respect they deserve. Not for their effort, not for their loyalty, not even for their silence. Society tells men to be vulnerable, then punishes them when they are. It's emotional entrapment disguised as empathy. And let's be honest, this constant searching for love online isn't romantic. It's desperation being rebranded as relatability. We've traded genuine human connection for digital therapy sessions that do nothing but feed the algorithm. If men were out here begging for wives on social media, they'd be called pathetic. But when women do it, it's self-love and healing. The double standard couldn't be clearer. One side gets sympathy, the other gets shame. So maybe it's not that men stopped caring. Maybe they just stopped performing for a world that never cared back.
If you are a single woman living in Toronto, you need to come to a landscape show because the men here are thirsty AF, okay? So if you're a single woman in the GTA and you haven't gone to a landscape show, you need to. Just go. You'll find a husband instantly because they're thirsty, all of them. Staring. But you said if you want, fuck the finance bros, guys. This is where the money's at. Landscape show.
The desperation now, it's off the hook. And it's getting worse by the minute. You can feel it everywhere, in the tone of the videos, in the captions, even in the way people talk about love. It's no longer about connection. It's about validation. Everyone's rushing to prove they're still wanted, still desirable, still worthy, even if it means lowering every standard they once swore by. Modern dating has turned into a panic room. People aren't choosing partners, they're choosing placeholders. Just anyone who can temporarily fill that void before the loneliness kicks back in. And the irony, the same people who once bragged about being too good for relationships are now begging for a second chance at something real. But when you spend years treating love like a game, don't be surprised when no one wants to play with you anymore. This isn't confidence anymore. It's crisis disguised as empowerment.
2 years old. I'm a single mother, and a lot of people write to me on here or in the comments or even in the wild, and they will say that women, especially of my age, are still single because we have unreasonably high standards. And I don't think it's unreasonable, but I do think and know that our standards are quite high because we've been through enough to know what we want and what we don't want. However, speaking for myself and probably a lot of other people out there, maybe men and women, I'm done trying. I don't want to try anymore. It hasn't worked out for me in the past, and whenever I have tried to salvage a relationship, I have shapeshifted to try to meet some sort of standard or be good enough, not only for that person, but like for their family too. And, you know, especially my last relationship, I kept trying to be a different person all the time. Just, you know, every time I felt something was off or I would feel scrutinized or whatever, I would try to change that part of me to meet who they wanted me to be. And it never worked because it wasn't authentic, I think, and it didn't come natural. But who I was didn't fit either. And one day I just woke up and I was like, if I can't just be me, then maybe we're just people that don't belong together.
She waited until every man in her age bracket was already settled, already stable, already built. And now, suddenly, she's looking for someone ready. But the question everyone's quietly asking is simple. What was she doing in her 20s and 30s while men were grinding, failing, building, and learning through struggle? She was exploring, figuring herself out, and chasing excitement over consistency. Now that the thrill has worn off, she wants security from the very men who had to earn it the hard way. And here's the catch. Men remember that. They see the pattern. A woman who constantly changes her mind about what she wants, who she's with, and what she believes sends one clear message: instability. And no man who built his peace is volunteering to risk it. That's why, for modern men, inconsistency has become the new red flag. Not appearance, not income, but emotional chaos. Because when a man spends years building order in his life, the last thing he wants is to invite back the very storm he worked so hard to escape. So yes, she may be ready now, but time doesn't erase the trail of choices that led here.
Here is for the women who are praying for or looking for godly men. If that is not you, you can keep on moving. You're not ready for a godly man. And I say this with lots of love. I say it out of love. You are not ready for a godly man. You know how I know this? Because of how you act, because of how you think, because of how you talk. If you're someone who is trying to still fight and argue and do the whole unstable emotionally and mentally thing, you're not ready for a godly man, because let me tell you what, he is going to shut that down so quick. But let me just tell you this right here. In order for you to be ready for a godly man, you need to tighten up. You need to tighten up, okay? Because this man is not going to come at you wanting to fight. This man is going to come at you wanting to solve. This man is not going to come at you wanting from you. He's going to come at you giving, okay? He's not going to expect. He is going to provide. It's a crazy concept. It's crazy, but you need to be mentally prepared and emotionally prepared to be with a man like that. Because when you and I are unstable, trying to get in a relationship with a man like that, we're going to mess it up. We're going to mess it up in the worst kind of ways. I know this because it was almost me. However, I have prayed over this man for years. I have wanted to be with a godly man for years, and he didn't look like what I thought he was going to look like. And I don't mean physically. I just meant the picture, the idea of this man didn't look the way that I thought it was going to look. So at first I was skeptical. I was hesitant. I was hurt, jaded, wounded. And she was trying to push that on this man. This man did not allow that to happen. So let me just tell you this. Before you mess this up, because you are wanting this godly man so bad, fix yourself first. Focus on yourself. When you focus on yourself and you are working on you, then God opens doors. Then God presents the opportunities. Stop looking for it. You're so focused on wanting this thing so badly that you are neglecting the things that you need to work on in yourself. So work on yourself first. Put God first. Let everything else be.
She's absolutely right. And you can almost feel the discomfort in the air, because deep down, modern women know it too. They just don't want to hear it. Every time a woman dares to speak uncomfortable truth, she gets labeled bitter, pick-me, or anti-feminist. But the truth doesn't care about feelings, it cares about results. And right now, the results are showing men are no longer playing this game. They're checking out quietly, choosing peace over pressure, purpose over drama. They're done proving their worth to people who only value attention. And the wild part? They're not announcing it. They're just disappearing. No fights, no arguments, just silence. Modern culture told men they were replaceable. But here's the plot twist. When men actually start walking away, the entire dating market starts to panic. Because the moment men stop chasing, the illusion collapses. So yeah, she's right. And that's exactly why they can't stand her for saying it. Thanks for watching. And if this one hit home, you know what to do. Hit that like, drop a comment, share your story, and join the community. Because the more we talk about it, the harder it becomes to ignore.